The United States has had troops in Syria, militarily occupying Syrian territory since 2014. And those U.S. troops happen to be in the area of Syria that produces the most oil and wheat. And a top U.S. government official has admitted that Washington's goal is to starve the central Syrian government of revenue so it cannot rebuild after a decade of war fueled by the U.S. devastated the country. Now, over the past few years, there have been several pieces of legislation introduced in the Congress to try to force the U.S. military to withdraw those troops from Syria, considering the fact that the U.S. has never officially declared war on Syria. And this December 2023, there was a vote in the U.S. Senate, and only 13 members of the 100-member Senate voted to withdraw troops. 84 members, the vast majority, voted to maintain U.S. troops in Syria after nearly a decade. Now, I need to emphasize that the U.S. military presence in Syria is completely illegal according to international law. The sovereign Syrian government, which has a seat at the United Nations, internationally recognized, has repeatedly said that the U.S. troops are there illegally, they are occupying its land, and they need to leave. The media outlet Kurdistan 24 published video footage back in 2019 that shows the U.S. troops with the U.S. flag and armored vehicles occupying the oil fields in Syria. This is like a centuries-old colonial occupation, and it continues happening today in the 21st century. And this U.S. military occupation is bipartisan. It was Barack Obama, a Democrat, who began the U.S. military occupation of Syria. It was continued by the Republican Donald Trump. And today, it's the Democrat Joe Biden who maintains this U.S. military occupation. Trump was very blunt about why he maintained U.S. troops in Syria. In a 2020 interview on Fox News, Trump boasted that he originally had thought of withdrawing U.S. troops from Syria, but instead he decided to keep those troops because, as he said, quote, "I took the oil. The only troops I have are taking the oil. I took over the oil." Here is this clip of Trump being interviewed by Fox News host Laura Ingraham in 2020.
And then they say he left troops in Syria. You know what I did? I left troops to take the oil. I took the oil. The only troops I have are taking the oil. They're protecting the oil. I took over
we're taking the oil. We're not taking the oil.
Well, maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
They're protecting the facility.
I don't know. Maybe we should take it. But we have the oil. Right now, the United States has the oil. So they say he left troops in Syria. No, I got rid of all of them other than we're protecting the oil. We have the oil.
So Trump was very honest about why the U.S. troops are there. And today, Joe Biden claims to be the foil to Trump, the opposite of Trump. And yet today, Biden is maintaining Trump's neo-colonial policy, a bipartisan policy of occupying Syrian sovereign territory, including the oil fields and many of the wheat fields.